Our minds are easily distracted, and attention is a precious and limited resource of the brain. It turns out that our brains are bombarded with 11 million bits of information per second. However, we can only consciously process 40 bits of that information, and those 40 bits are being competed for through advertising, news, entertainment, social media, politics, our loved ones, and of course, our work. This has resulted in what is being called the attention economy, where our attention is being hijacked by what has the most salient or strongest signal. It may not be the most important thing to give our attention to, but if it has the strongest emotional signal, the likelihood of us giving our precious attention to that stimuli is high. For example, even though it may be completely counterproductive to our work, the brain responds to a like on our social media post or to the emotionally evocative news as much more salient than a sales report. Thus, the habit of checking these distractions becomes rewarded in the brain, resulting in the need to intentionally override these impulses and instead focus on our work. Given that our work, the news, our means of connecting with others, our entertainment, our shopping, and our social media are all on the same device, at the tips of our fingers no less, it makes sense that distraction is rampant. The cost of distraction is high. If you are interrupted at work by text or notification, it takes you an average of about 20 minutes to return to the level of focus you had before the interruption. To ensure effectiveness at work, it is vitally important to turn off all notifications on our devices. It is also important to not multitask, whether that is toggling between different tabs open on our computer, moving from project to project, or answering text while working, as it is completely counterproductive for a brain's ability to focus, be effective, or enter a state of flow. Once you minimize distractions on your devices and commit to doing one task at a time, it is also important to create a physical space that supports focus. When working from home, this is more difficult, as there may be more environmental distractions, like family or pets. However, if it's possible, try to create a dedicated workspace where all you do is work, not engage in social media, shopping, or any entertainment. This provides cues that tell your brain it's time to work. So focusing on what matters is supported in these three ways. First, we recapture attention through mindfulness, building the muscle of our mind so that we can recognize, release, and return to what is most important. Secondly, we minimize distractions on our devices and instead of multitasking, commit to doing one thing at a time. And third, we want to create an environment with cues that tell the brain it's time to work. Let's do a practice of recapturing and building attention through mindfulness. We will start with building the muscle of attention, using the breath as an anchor. We'll close with a short micro-practice you can use to regain focus when you catch yourself multitasking or anytime you're distracted or overwhelmed throughout the day. Let's begin. Sitting up in a way that is alert, yet relaxed. Go ahead and close the eyes, placing the feet on the floor and feeling a sense of stability. Feeling an uplift in the spine and softening the belly. You may rest the hands gently on your lap. Throughout this practice, the most important thing will be the breath. And there are two simple steps. The first, keep your attention on the breath. And the second, when you notice your attention has wandered, as it probably will, firmly and kindly return it to the sensation of the breath. Both steps are equally important. So now become aware of the body breathing. feeling the breath as it moves in and it moves out. The body expanding and contracting. And being curious, what does this breath feel like? Can you notice the moment the in-breath starts? Can you feel it as it moves through the nasal passage? The rising and falling of the chest and belly. Can you feel the moment the out-breath stops and the slight pause right before the inhale? Being curious, where do you notice the breath most vividly? The nose, the chest, belly. Wherever you notice the breath most distinctly, let that place be a magnet for your attention. Remember, in this practice, what matters most is for you to stay steady with your attention on the breath. And when you become aware your attention has wandered, simply return to the breath. Let the sensation of the body breathing fill awareness and be your entire world. This is step 1. When the attention wanders, as it most likely will, no problem. Move to step 2. Simply recognize, release, and return attention to the feeling of the next breath. Staying steady with attention on the breath like a magnet. Where is your attention now? Remembering what is most important in this moment is the breath, and bringing a wandering mind back to what is important is the practice of mindfulness. Returning again and again to what matters most in this moment, the breath. Being curious and attentive to this breath. You're only one breath away from being fully present, focusing on what matters most. Sometimes it helps to repeat a phrase in your mind. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in, and breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in, and breathing out, I know I am breathing out. And where is your attention now? No matter how far it may have wandered, simply beginning again, letting the breath be a magnet for your attention, returning again and again to what matters most in this moment, which is the breath. And as we bring this practice to a close, go ahead and open your eyes, knowing you have built the muscle of attention by focusing on returning again and again to what matters most. And let's close with a focusing micro practice. This is a 3-breath practice that can be done with your eyes open at any time. So for the first breath, I'll ask you to bring awareness again to the sensation of breath. The second breath, instructions are to relax the body. And with the third breath, ask yourself the question, what's most important right now? And notice what arises. Let's give it a try. First breath, full and complete attention to the sensation of breath. Second breath, relax the body. And the third breath, what arises with the question, what's most important right now? All right, thank you for your practice. And you can do this 3-breath practice at any time you need to reset your attention, or when you feel overwhelmed, or even as you transition between meetings or at the end of your workday before re-engaging with your family or friends. It's a practice that helps you get clear with where to place your precious attention. Thank you.